Thanks for joining me on another video. I hope you all are doing well. Let's talk about thoughts. Do we choose our thoughts? Let's explore this. Now, all of our lives, we've been listening to and relating to our thoughts based off the assumption that we control or choose them. But what if I told you that this isn't the case? That there is no chooser of your thoughts. Now, the easiest way to look at this would be, for instance, if you or anybody could actually choose your thoughts, there would be little to no psychological suffering going on in the world. And what I mean by this is you would never choose to have a painful, sad, or miserable thought. Wouldn't you always choose to have happy, peaceful, and loving thoughts? I mean, I would assume so, considering that all anybody ever wants out of life is peace, love, and joy. But as you can see from a world point of view, and perhaps even a personal, that there is an immense amount of psychological suffering going on, mostly in the forms of anxiety and depression. And this is all due to the simple fact that we associate ourselves with these thoughts that us ourselves aren't even choosing. Now, we can explore thought even more, but in a more subtle and in-depth way. Let's say you're coming home from work. You're beginning to settle down, and out of the blue, a thought. I wonder how my sister's doing. Now, prior to this thought's appearance, were you sitting there going, I think I'll have this thought? Did you pick and choose from a list of thoughts on which one you're going to have? I don't think so. And we can explore this even further. This time I'll introduce two choices. So the thought appears, I wonder how my sister's doing. Pause. Then another one. I think I'll give her a call. Or, I'll just play a video game. Now, is it our experience that these thoughts simply appeared? Or is it our experience that there was someone or something in the system orchestrating and picking and choosing which thoughts were going to appear and which ones were going to happen next? See, the feeling of choosing our thoughts is indeed quite convincing. But when we actually go to look for this chooser, we never actually find one. Now, after the thought, I wonder how my sister's doing, then I think I'll give her a phone call. There comes yet another thought. And this thought says, in between my thoughts, I was choosing them. This can be likened to the metaphor of the clown bowing on stage after the performers have left, seemingly taking responsibility when it itself wasn't actually present. So it's our association with this particular thought that convinces us that we indeed are choosing it. But when we look closely, we can see clearly that there was no one or entity there actually processing and choosing our thoughts. Now, after unraveling this, we may begin to ask ourselves, well, why do I have the thoughts I do? And what can I do to change them? Now, the type of thoughts we have comes from how we choose to identify ourselves, what we feel and believe ourselves to be. If we feel and believe ourselves to be a separate entity, a body mind, then subsequently our thoughts are going to appear in relation to that belief and feeling. If we feel and believe that I am this unifying field of consciousness or awareness, then again, our thoughts will appear and arise in accordance. You see, to tone down any confusion, awareness assumes the role of a character, kind of like a video game. And when awareness begins to identify itself with the actual character, this is when problems arise. But as we go through this spiritual path and slowly begin to move our identity over to consciousness or awareness, then the mind itself begins to recondition, and then our thoughts become more aligned with our true nature. They're no longer arising on behalf of a separate self. They begin to rise on behalf of loving awareness. So I'll just add, like I normally do, that my mentoring for the direct path is available. And the reason why I want to bring it up in this video in particular is because in the direct path, this switch in identity is exactly what we're going for. We start off feeling and believing ourselves to be this body mind, this character in the video game that we're simply playing, to this infinite, eternal, loving presence of awareness. And this is how we begin to liberate ourselves from all these negative and nasty thought patterns and begin living a life of harmony and bliss. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And remember to keep your heart open and stay present. I'll see you in the next one.